Take a little walk down into the underbelly of streaming, where hope is cheap, but it's all we have. We ain't got the fancy things that the big streamers got. We just got ourselves, each other, and the loyal few who follow us. We all got dreams, but when will they come true? Sometime, baby. Sometime. Welcome to the Sometime Show.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I am Zargram Zanders, and this is the Sometime Show. With us in the studio today is Alice Crow. Alice, thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this interview.
Hello. Oh, throat.
Well, oh no, it's spreading. I'm getting it too. Oh no! Ah.
The sickness is coming back.
Yeah. So, Alice, why don't we start off with you introducing yourself? Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do?
Hello, I'm Alice. I apparently stream. I also do art. I play pen and paper. I am a kobold and a hyena. I live in Germany. And I can talk.
Hey, that works for me. What kind of games do you usually stream?
I stream literally everything. I stream primary indie games, but I also love horror games. And I love RPGs, and especially games with an extremely good story and soundtrack. Ooh.
Sorry about that. I forgot to. Speaking of soundtrack, I forgot to turn the one on for this.
Soundtrack is important.
Absolutely. All right. I have to say, I've been playing a fair bit of indie games myself on stream. I actually kind of prefer them to a lot of AAA games. What do you prefer? Do you prefer indie, or do you prefer like mainstream, or do you have a preference?
I do prefer indie games because I think you can feel more love in the indie games section than in the AAA section. Because AAA games don't have the time and the development to add some soul to the games, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. I totally get what you're saying with that. So, okay, what would you say is a game that you play that does have soul?
A game that don't have soul.
No, that does have soul. A game that does have soul.
A game that does have soul. A Space for the Unbound. It is a game that made me cry a lot.
Hang on a second. So this is called Spaceward Unbound?
Yes, A Space for the Unbound.
For the Unbound. All right, let's get a graphic up here on the screen for that. So why don't you talk to us about what that was like for you?
What?
Why don't you talk to us about what that game was like for you to play? Do you have anything you want to share about it? Like any stories or experiences?
Yes. The game played with my expectations because I wasn't able to say in which directions the game was going.
Really? So it's like really twisty.
Yes. It is the plot and the story of the game was very twisted.
Really?
And unpredictable, and I love that kind of games.
So you must have enjoyed the Assassin's Creed games back when those were starting to become more and more popular then, because those were famous for having really weird twist ending. Like the first one, you think the whole game's you're in medieval times, and all of a sudden, nope, it's all a simulation. You must have liked that franchise.
Yes. I did. I mean, the new Assassin's Creed games are also good because the gameplay is a lot of fun. It makes a lot of fun. But the older games had a way more. Had a way better story.
So do you have a personal preference for one of the Assassin's Creed games, or
the one with the pirates?
Oh, that would be Black Flag, I think.
Yes. Because I just love the sea and I love pirates.
Sure. I think my favorite was definitely, I haven't played many of them, but I definitely enjoyed playing Assassin's Creed 2. I love the story of that one. That was a lot of fun to play. I definitely think that there was a bit of a parkour craze in the early 2000s, and that's what kind of contributed to Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, the parkour aspect is just amazing.
Totally. So, okay, why don't we get to some of the a little bit more profound questions here? All right. So, what motivated you to start streaming? What got you into streaming in the first place? What is your origin story, as it were?
I just love to play video games. And every time when I'm in the Discord with my friends, we are streaming which games we are, we play. Most of the time we're just playing while we chill in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start to stream the game we're playing to each other. And a lot of friends told me, okay, it makes so much fun to watch you while you play games. So what about streaming?
You know, that's kind of similar to what motivated me to try this out. I had gone to I went to this little convention and I was running some panels, and people said, you know, you do a kind of a good job with that. You should try streaming sometime. I'm like, okay, well, worth a shot. I had previously done like Let's Plays on YouTube, but that didn't really work out very well. So yeah, I can totally get where you're coming from with that. All right. So another question I like to ask our guests is, what sort of goals do you want to set for yourself in terms of VTubing or streaming, or where do you want to take your channel?
I mean, I just reached affiliate like 4 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I made a little stream with my whole polycule.
Okay.
I just noticed in the middle of the stream. But
wait,
you
said polycule?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. I've never met anyone who's in one of those.
First time, woo!
Yeah, there's first time for everything.
It's my first partner has also a partner.
Mm-hmm.
And this partner has a partner.
Okay.
And on the other side, my second partner has also a partner.
Okay.
so it's literally a polycule chain.
Interesting. I've often wondered about how about the logistics of how that would work and how people would Well, okay, so sorry, I won't pry. I don't know if you're sensitive about that, but fine. I won't pry into your personal business about that. But okay.
The two of them are also streaming.
Oh, cool. That's interesting.
And we are extremely we are open about it, so don't worry.
Oh, okay. So I guess would you like to talk? Would you like to share about what that's like, what that kind of experience is like, and what that what kind of lifestyle that is?
I always have a partner to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means that I listen to more than one partner. So when there's trouble, the trouble is real.
I see.
But it's also extremely good because I feel loved, and I know that when one of my partner don't have the time for me or don't or just want some peace and quiet to some me time for themselves, I still have someone else I can go to.
I gotcha. So, okay. I've often wondered about how this would work. So, how exactly do you guys prevent things like jealousy or things like that from interacting with, or for interfering with relationships?
Expectation management is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
So, as soon as something came up, you have to talk about it.
Okay.
So when one of my partner thinks that I'm spending too much time with the other partner, they have to tell me so I can do something against it.
Makes sense to me. I've done some like online role playing and stuff like that with some people, and one thing that tends to be frustrating is when people don't talk. Is when they don't say, "Hey, we need to do something about this thing," and they just expect you to just know everything, or they expect you to read their minds. Oh, yeah, it can be frustrating when people refuse to communicate. So I can understand why that would be very important in a situation like that. But okay,
That can happen in a polycule as well.
oh yeah. I believe you. I'll have to take your word for it. I'm not exactly in one, I don't think.
That's the difference to a polycule chain than a polycule ball is that I can when I have trouble with the one partner, I can talk with the second partner about it. But when I would have both when I have two partners who also made out with each other, I can't go to the second partner to complain about the first one.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So, all right. Okay. What are some challenges you have faced as a VTuber or a streamer that you've either overcome or are still working with?
No problems at all.
Really?
No. The biggest problem was when I got affiliate. I went affiliate. I got affiliate. What do you say? How do you say? But yeah. When I became an affiliate, and I wanted to activate channel points, I had to make so many animations. And find out how it works with my PNG model, because I'm actually a PNG tuber and not a VTuber.
Sure.
So the mechanics and the programming is a little bit different.
What do you use to program it? Do you use like streamer.bot or do you use something else?
I use VRDoTube.
Wait, you use what now?
A VRDoTube.
Vial. Huh. Hang on a second. Let me just. Oh, we got someone in chat. Hey, someone actually.
Yes.
Welcome, Did Jensen. Welcome. We're just talking about things like Alice Crow here. We're talking about their streaming career. We're talking about things about them and stuff. So, all right, okay. So you have the software you used that you can put your animations in to configure your avatar. What motivated you to pick this particular avatar, which I believe is supposed to be a kobold?
Yes, it's a kobold, and I took it because it's literally my first persona.
Okay.
And pen and paper character.
All right. This reminds me of a joke, how some kobold characters will just say, species, kobold, class, kobold, alignment, kobold, background, kobold.
This is no joke. This was real in my pen and paper adventure.
I love it. That's great. Okay. So I have a question for you. So I have always been interested about Central Europe and always visiting Germany, and I'm of Czech descent partially, so I've always wanted to go to the Czech Republic, but it's not terribly far from Central Europe. And I'm curious to know about some things that might be different for online culture for people from Central Europe versus, say, people here in the United States. Is there anything you'd like to comment about your experiences about how it might be different based on the crowd you interact with?
I mean, I have a lot of friends in America.
Mm-hmm.
And here in Germany as well. And I noticed that the biggest difference is that some of your laws are extremely... We don't understand why you have them. Or why you don't have a social health care.
Oh, believe me, I'm a big proponent for universal health care. So, yeah, believe me.
Yeah, me too.
There's there are many people in my country who would very much appreciate universal health care. It's just that the powers that be would stand at a disadvantage for that, and they see fit to commoditize it. So it's an oligarchy, but
I mean, my second mate is also from America, They
Okay.
live in New Hampshire.
All right. Okay. I should. I haven't spent much time on the East Coast. I'm from around the Great Lakes region, which, if you're familiar, it's around that area where you see a bunch of like to people who might not know what they're called. They kind of look like inland seas, all kind of close to each other, but they're freshwater, so we call them the Great Lakes. I'm from around that region. Okay.
The lake in the lake. No. When I remember right, I love to look at maps.
Oh, me too. I was having fun just making some maps for this crack idea I came up with the other day when I was playing Oblivion. So I totally get that. Yeah.
And I saw a pond on an island that lays in a in a bigger pond that lays in an island.
Yo, dog, I heard you like
American things, I
ponds.
guess.
So I put a pond in your pond so you can fish while you fish.
I mean, how do you call them?
Well, okay. In terms of cartography, there are many different nouns used to classify different bodies of water. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that some of the classification categories are what type of water's in it, how does the water flow into it or out of it, and what else? Roughly what volume is it, I think. I think volume has to do with it. From there, when you get more specific qualifications, then you start getting more specific answers. But so I would probably call that a pond within a lake, maybe. But yeah, it still is pretty strange if you stop and think about it. Okay, so
But America is quite pretty, I have to say.
well, there are parts that are nice. There are other parts that aren't so nice. Like if you go to like say.
Yes.
I mean, if you go to some parts that are like, industrial parks, you're not going to find much natural beauty there. But there are some parts that are nice.
It always depends on the place. I mean, we have also very great places here in Germany.
Oh yeah. Like I remember,
I mean, we have the Schwarzwald. It's extremely big forest and just green, and then we have cool places.
oh, the
where you
Black Forest.
Don't see any plants. Yes, the Black Forest.
Okay, so you call it the
Germany.
Schwarzwald. Okay.
Yes, Schwarzwald.
All right, let me get a picture of that because I found this lovely picture. We can put it for a topic graphic. Up there we go, and it looks very nice. So why do they call it the Black Forest? Is it because of a species of tree that grows there?
I have literally no idea, but I guess because the trees are so
Hey,
close
Tarth.
to each other that it's literally black when you went into the forest.
Man, that's kind of creepy. That reminds me of this one. Okay, so here's the deal. There was a college basketball team from the state of Oregon, which is on the west coast of the United States. And they had this interesting parquet pattern that they put into the floor to make it look like you were laying down the base of a forest and looking up. Ow! Yes, Tarth, I will stretch. I will unscrew my back. Thank you, Tarth. Thank you for interrupting. Ugh. Anyway, but it was this really...
Wonderful.
What?
I just saw how someone throw meat at you.
Yeah. Tarth loves messing with me. Anywho, where was I? Oh yeah, and it was this really kind of psychological affecting like parquet pattern. Let me see if I can find it. University of Oregon basketball court design. It's really freaky if you see it. Oh yeah, here it is. I found it.
I'm curious.
Yeah. It's actually kind of creepy if when you look at it. It's not a very high res.
Hello, chat.
There we go. Save image as. Boom. Okay, so let me change the graphic and put this on screen so everyone else can see it. It's really something else. Oh, it's already there.
Fuck.
But here, let me grow that just a bit. There we go. It's kind of creepy because it feels like you're laying down on the forest floor and looking up, so it feels a little bit, menacing in a way. I think it's amazing.
It's interesting.
Definitely. I don't know. Are you interested in any kind of sports? Even esports?
No, not really. I'm interested in basically everything, but no, not sport.
Okay. All right. Interested in everything you say.
I mean, martial arts is something.
Oh, really? You do martial arts?
Yes,
Oh.
I did martial arts. I used to train kendo, jugger, and I meant karate.
Nice. I used to actually do taekwondo. I did it for what was it, like 7 years when I was a kid, and a little bit towards college, or a little bit after, I think. And I got to like 2nd degree black belt in the ITF system. So yeah. So okay. So you've done karate, kendo, and what was the other one?
Jugger.
Jaga. I've never heard that one before.
Jugger. You write it like this. Oh, chat. Jugger.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one before. What's it like? Is it like striking? Is it more like grappling? What kind of a...
It's a mix between different stuff.
Okay.
It's like football, but with swords.
Huh. Interesting. I'll have to...
It's football with weapons.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Like lacrosse, maybe?
A little, maybe.
Let me look up Jagger martial art. All right.
There are 2 teams with five players. In each team is 1 walker. It's jugger. It's a jugger. Yes.
Oh!
Maybe with the yes.
Okay, well, actually, I'm gonna show the group this. This is really cool. I've often wondered if you could make a kind of a sport-like game out of doing HEMA type stuff. Oh my god! It turns out someone already has. I gotta get this on screen so everyone can see. This is awesome. I kind of want to do this now. I remember one time.
It does make a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot of fun. Here it is. I was doing a cosplay or foam fighting at DokidoCon, which is a convention I like to go to a lot every year. It's the one in my hometown. And they would have people basically fighting with weapons not unlike these, where they're basically covered in foam, and there's ways to tell if you're out and whatever. And I have to say, one time, the first time I did it, everyone picked a sword and a shield, because that's what the protagonist uses, right? And my instinct told me, this is team melee fighting. I'm going to use a spear and not a shield because I don't know how to fight Hoplite. Because I'd taken a little bit of weapons training. I'd also done some fencing like rapier, and I love doing rapier fencing. That was so much fun. Anyway, and I was able to fight with this like foam spear. And someone after the fact said, I don't think any one person took you down. They had to gang up on you. And this started to comport with things like Lindy Beige saying how the spear is actually not that bad of a weapon, and yet it's weirdly overshadowed by the sword.
The spear is extremely underrated, if you ask me.
It is. It really is. Polearms are kind of awesome. So
also daggers. Daggers are also extremely underrated.
Oh yeah. Spear.
I remember that I killed my training partner with a training daggers when I made when I went to a self-defense course, like 50 times.
Wow.
He was very depressed.
Yeah, a shutout like that is going to be very depressing. Kind of like the shutout of Germany at Brazil during that one World Cup. My God, I don't even follow soccer or football as it's called in the international community, and I could just tell that what was it, like 8-1 goals? I was like, oh, insane. Tarth, you're saying spear is the rifle of the Middle Age, and they look axes. They're very versatile. I don't know. I kind of prefer a spear to an axe because when you get to edged weapons, you gotta get your edge alignment down. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you mean.
So what do you usually?
I never.
Oh. Go ahead.
I never used a spear I'm more okay. Okay, to go with the example of Jugger, you can use the stuff. You can use the Q-tip. There's a shield, a short sword, and long sword, and a very long sword.
Oh,
And I'm played most of the time with short sword or normal sword.
okay. Short sword, and you said normal sword.
Yes.
I've never.
Because short sword remembered me a little bit of daggers,
Okay.
and the normal sword remembered me of the kendo stuff.
I didn't do kendo, but I did a little bit of. Well, I did a little bit of katana training when I was doing taekwondo. We would do all kinds of different stuff. But I would do stuff like I did fencing in college, and while foil was kind of fun, and saber was competitive saber, not like HEMA style saber, but like competitive, where it's all where every single bout is like a matter of seconds, or every single it's like it's really really fast. I actually enjoyed rapier fencing a lot, and it's a heavier thing, but it's fought in the round, unlike most fencing where it's just back and forth along the pista. But okay, so you're saying
I would love to try to fencing.
Oh, sure. I'm positive that there are good groups in Germany that you could try it out. Oh, we have a question from chat. Alice, what do you consider a short sword?
Like I said, to explain it with the example of Jagger, the sword was literally dagger that was the double size of the normal dagger.
Okay.
I would say it would be a short sword.
All right. So, what are the rules? Apparently, in the United States, it's called jugger, not jagger. But potato. So what are the rules of this? How do you win? How do you score? How does this work exactly?
So 30 centimeter is the short sword. 15 is also. No, I would say 50 is already a long sword, and 30 is a short sword.
Tarth is really into HEMA, so that's probably why they got excited about talking about this.
The rules of Jugger. You have 5 players in each team, 1 walker and 4 wielder. The walker has to try to get the jug. The jug is basically the ball. And the walker has to take the jug from the middle of the field into the goal of the other team.
Mm-hmm.
And you try, as one of the wielder, to hit the other players, because when you hit them, they aren't allowed to move for a certain time.
Okay.
But you can hold them on their place when you press your weapon on them, like you can see in the picture.
Ah, so it's like checking somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yes, literally. When you are out, you have to put one of your hands behind your back and drop your weapon.
That's with the picture. Actually, it seems we picked a good picture for this thing because it's showing exactly that.
Yes, it really is.
All right. Actually, this sounds kind of like a lot of fun. I would want to do this if it was available here in my state. This is cool.
Try it. Try it. It makes a lot of fun. I just stopped because I don't have the physical endurance anymore.
Me neither.
Because I have a nerve sickness.
Yeah.
And I'm not allowed to make so much sport.
I know that feeling. I'm getting old too. I'm 32. So, okay.
I wish it would be getting old.
Alright, okay. So, let's think here. You say you like all kinds of stuff. Tarth says they stopped HEMA due to COVID long. I'm sorry to hear that, Tarth.
No!
Okay, so since you're from Germany, I'm kind of a fan of automobiles, I feel kind of the urge to ask you, do you drive? And if so, what do you drive?
I drive my Porsche. because I walk to everywhere. I don't have a car,
Okay.
and I don't have a German car license.
All right. I understand that because the cities are more walkable and public transportation is actually pretty good, that most people don't actually need cars.
Yes, I heard that America don't really have a very good public transport.
No, we don't. And I'll tell you why, and I know exactly the historical reason why. It's because in the late 40s and the 50s, there was the interstate bill, which had a lot of influence from Chrysler, Ford, Chevrolet, or General Motors, and whatever other companies. The big American manufacturers, they wanted to sell more cars, and they were able to influence the legislature to get it so that buildings would be cities would be planned around roads and with cars in mind for transportation, which started to shut out all the cable cars that were still, or the trolleys that were going around at the time, as well as buses and things like that. So the whole reason why this happened is because of how the road system was designed by people who had conflicting interests.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just feel so sorry for you because public transport is heaven.
It can be, except at like 2 a.m. when you're downtown.
I mean, I have public transport 24 hours per day.
Nice.
7 days per week. 4 weeks per month. 12 months per year.
Nice. I mean, but I'm saying is that you can certainly take a bus at 2 a.m. in the United States, but you probably won't want to because
You will never reach your goal.
No, more like you don't want to get stabbed, or you don't want because you might run into a bunch of people who are kind of scary at that time. There's a saying in places like New York, in places with subways: "Sun goes down, stay above ground."
Yeah, I see. I mean, we don't allow, for example, we have very extreme weapon laws. You will never meet someone who wields a gun. Or let's say the chance is extremely low.
Sure. There is a certain channel called the Slingshot Channel, run by a guy called Jörg Schwab, and he does these very interesting builds where he'll like design crossbows and slingshots and things like that. If you're kind of a STEM nerd like me and you kind of enjoy building stuff and also like stuff like weapons and stuff like that, it can be kind of a lot of fun. But I was surprised when I saw his German Independence Day, or maybe it was Reunification Day. I forget which holiday it was. It was a national holiday, an important one for Germany. And the size, he says this is like one of the few days of the year you're allowed to actually shoot off fireworks. And the size of the fireworks this guy had, it looked like a stick of dynamite, and it was huge. I'm like, holy crap, I gotta get some German fireworks. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. We have actually 4 days where fireworks are allowed, and just 1 day of them is public. So I know this because my dad made a firework license, and in order to make the big one, you have to participate in at least 3 of these 4 firework festivals.
So it's a use it or lose it type of thing. If you don't use the license, then you lose it. You have to actually use it. You can't just hold on to it.
Yes, you have to use the license, and you have to make. At least it was in the past. I don't know if it's still the same way. But my dad had to visit some courses. Just he had his license, and he had to go to prove at least once per year that he's still capable of building fireworks.
Okay. I can definitely understand having some kind of certification process for handling things of that nature. So that makes some sense to me. So let me ask you this: what are some things that you're into? Like, for example, do you like anime or any kind of shows in particular, any kind of movies or things like that?
Yes. I do watch a lot of animes, and I do watch a lot of Netflix.
Okay.
At the moment, my go-to is Dr. House on Netflix.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man, okay. So it's funny that you mentioned that because I happen to come from a family of doctors. Like both my grandparents were doctors, so
Nice.
we all kind of absorbed medical like lingo and a little bit of medical knowledge by familial osmosis, so to speak. And so when we watch shows like House or Grey's Anatomy or a lot of these things, we get frustrated because they do a lot of things in the wrong order. And they do so many things wrong, and it just ups the drama, and we're like, ah! Why are you doing this? I think my levels are too high.
Is it lupus?
It's never
episode.
lupus.
It's never lupus.
Let me turn it down to about 5 decibels. That should keep me in the yellow. There we go. Okay, that seems fine. Check. Okay, yep, we're good. Anyway, but yeah, that's something I've noticed because I happen to have a creative writing degree from college as well as a master's in accounting. So I have this. I'm a weird chimera when it comes to academia, but
Yes. There was one episode with lupus.
there's only one. It's
surprised
lupus.
me. It surprised me.
But one thing I've noticed as I go back and watch a lot of shows is just how contrived a lot of stories are, and how they will bend over backwards to create situations where drama happens, whereas they don't let drama what's the word, emerge organically. It's usually more of an artificial drama than it is an emergent kind from the characters. Most of the time the drama stems from, in a procedural, someone caught the idiot ball this week, or someone did something dumb. And I just feel like, why can't we have stories where the drama's not born out of incompetency, but rather just from personality? Because that seems to be more realistic to what people actually do. I don't know, what do you think?
Yes, I see the point. And I always thought Grey's Anatomy would be like that, because everyone told me that is the main point in Grey's Anatomy.
I see.
But I never watched it. So is it worth it?
I don't know. I've seen like clips of these things, but like it's like the dialogue writing and how people talk to each other. A lot of people write their characters like they're teenagers, and it just is like so odd. Like, because so many shows feel the need to include unusual and inexplicable amounts of sexual activity, when that might not even be really that much of an appeal to the target audience. So you have to wonder, okay, so why is this even here? I don't know. It's a little bit of a gripe I have with modern TV.
See, you probably would like Scrubs.
Oh, I used to love that show.
Yes, look, I knew it.
It was funny. Like, I can get down with a comedy series, but ones that take themselves seriously, well, then I start to take them seriously, and then I find a bunch of holes. That's the problem I have.
Oh no.
But I am a huge fan of shows like Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes, me too. My girlfriend, Dings, is a Trekkie.
Okay.
And she introduced me into the Trek universe.
All right. What did they
Mhm.
choose to use to introduce you?
It was DS9.
Interesting. Okay.
But what really catched me was Star Trek Voyager.
Really? So okay. What was it about Voyager that caught you?
Janeway.
Okay. What about her?
I'm a big fan of Janeway.
All right.
And also, what was the other one? The Picard series catched me because I don't really know why. Because I guess I just like the actor.
Oh, Patrick Stewart's a great actor. I love a lot of the stuff
Yes,
he's
he really
in.
is.
I have seen some of the
And-
Shakespearean.
mhm.
Oh, go ahead.
And Star Trek Discovery finally dragged me into the whole universe. Because I'm a really big fan of the actor of Zaru. What was his name
Tarth
again?
just
The
say?
name of the actor. He always plays monster. He also played the eye monster in Pan's Labyrinth.
Did you see what Tarth just posted? He said Kirk is the Jar Jar of Star Trek.
Doug Jones, yes, Doug Jones.
I can't believe
Doug
Tarth would
Jones.
even say that. That's just... Oh, who's Doug? Oh, wait, Doug Jones. That I don't know if I know that name. Hang on, let me look that up. I was a fan of Voyager and what's the word? TNG. But let me see this. Doug Jones, Star Trek. Who it is?
Doug Jones is one of my.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's he.
Though I must say, I do have some opinions about modern Star Trek. I can't help but notice that it seems like a lot of people who interpret and write modern Star Trek, they seem to almost they usually go for the cyberpunk dystopian look for it, and I'm just not convinced that was Gene Roddenberry's vision for Star Trek. I think the whole idea he had was, what if humanity went through an apocalypse like the eugenics wars, and then over time, things got better. But I feel like a lot of people with modern Star Trek, they just kind of ignore that premise, and they just go with more towards the route of dark and edgy, which just, I don't know. That wasn't the appeal for me with Star Trek, at least. That's just me talking.
Well, Tad, everything you hate about Star Trek made me love it.
How interesting. Okay. So, would you care to elucidate that opinion? What exactly motivates? What exactly do you like about the more edgier version of Star Trek?
I have literally no idea. It was probably the characters, because I'm a big fan of everything that's not human.
Okay.
And I really love the designs of the aliens.
Oh, sure. If you like DS9, then you might like a show that was around at the same time called Babylon 5. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes. Dings showed it to me right before we started DS9.
I love Babylon 5. The first season's a bit rough, but I think I got really strong later on. Yeah,
I mean, I do love fantasy and I do love science fiction equally. I'm not able to tell you which one I would prefer.
So, okay, let me ask you this, just for the sake of discussion. What counts
the Borg,
as...
yes.
Huh?
Oh, the Borgs are awesome.
Oh yeah.
I love the Borgs.
The Borg, yeah, that is an interesting villain, for sure. You know what's interesting about the Borg, actually, is that in their first appearances, they actually use some abilities that just kind of get ignored and swept under the rug later. Like, one of the things that the Borg cube in, the first appearance does is that it can heal itself and repair itself very rapidly. And they use an interesting effect to show this. And they use a lot of other things that I think kind of were ignored in favor of making the Borg more like insects. Because for example,
Space ants.
What?
Literally space ants.
Yeah, pretty much. Because up until First Contact, which by the way, I do love the movie First Contact, Star Trek First Contact. I love that movie. But until then, the Borg were a hive mind. They did not have the Borg Queen. But they introduced the Borg Queen. Oh, the stream reboot? Oh.
I don't know.
No, it says we've been up for an hour. But anyways, like I was trying to say, they added the Borg Queen into the movie because they wanted to have a focal villain. But in terms of the lore of the Borg, that kind of undermines them completely, which is interesting because Data literally points that out in the movie as well. But they just wanted a focal villain instead, which is like, okay.
They literally... I mean, you could try to explain this, because the Borgs try to adapt everything in order to get the perfect life form. And when they thought it would be smart to have a queen, it makes sense that they make a queen.
Well, I would argue that from a cybersecurity standpoint, that there are some drawbacks, because for case in point, the end game episodes of Voyager at the very end, when because everything's routed into the Queen, that also means that they have bypassed a lot of firewalls and a lot of security things. So therefore, if you mess with the Queen or things like that, you can mess with everyone else around you. For also example, like in First Contact, if you're in close proximity to the Queen and it dies and you're a Borg, you'll die too.
Fair point.
I don't know.
The queen is literally the brain.
But that's, I don't know. When you talk about like cluster computing and things like that, you don't necessarily need a centralized brain per se, because the whole, I don't know. It just feels like they sacrificed some of the science of the science fiction, so to speak, to just give us a scary singular villain. I don't know.
Oh, excuse me, I was distracted.
What's up?
No, I just got a message and I wasn't able to tell where it came from.
Oh, that's happened to me a few times.
Nothing serious.
All right. So let's get back to your channel. So, if you could, you said, what do you say your goal was? I'm sorry, I have a bit of a short attention.
I don't really have a goal, I just want to have fun.
Okay, I think that's a good...
And share video games.
Alright.
I literally just make what I want to do on Twitch. I mean, I want to do art streams in the future, I want to introduce more PS1 games in the future.
PS1? Ooh, like what?
Yes, everything. I want to, I mean, there are... Okay, first of all, I grew up with a dad who loved computer.
Uh-huh.
So we had PS1, PS2, a computer when I was a child. And my dad tried to show me everything he did on the computer. My dad was even able to write his own viruses. It was a little hobby of him.
Wow.
And so I literally grew up with games.
Alright.
And there are so many PS1 games that are extremely good because of the story. Like indie games.
Right, yeah.
And I would love to introduce some of them. So literally random, I will choose random PS1 games and introduce them. And when the stream and I do like them, I would love to play a little bit more of them.
Alright. Have you ever played Spyro by any chance?
Oh yes. My mom is a big Spyro fan.
Alright. I had a feeling you might be a Spyro fan.
Mm-hmm. I played the Spyro the Spyro remake of Spyro 1, 2, and 3 on PlayStation and made the Platinum Trophy.
Nice! I played the first Spyro on the Reignited trilogy on Steam. It seemed like it was kind of fun. I got started with 2 and I kind of dropped it. I should probably finish that sometime. Maybe I could finish it on stream or something. But...
2 is, if you ask me, the worst of the trilogy.
Really?
Yes, I would say 3 is the best one, then 1, and then 2.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, because lately I was playing some of the Myst games, and I was ranking those as well.
Okay. Wait a minute. Discord is back.
Oh, okay. I thought this... Yeah, it looks like the stream glitched for a second. Oh, and sorry for dehydrate, and I don't have a water bottle with me.
No.
Can I leave you to babysit chat for a second?
Okay.
Alright, I'll be right back in just a second. Sorry about this. I got everything ready except the water bottle.
It's fine.
1 second.
Let me scroll through the chat. Ooh, I know some of the people. Hello Sikuya! How are you? Hello Shion! Hello Dings! I'm fine. It's good. I'm happy that you're doing fine. Oh, I just remember I also want to play Angel of Death for you.
I'm back. Okay, just a second.
I just bought, but I already played too much Stardew Valley.
Stardew
It's your
Valley?
own fault.
I've started that game. I haven't gotten very far, but I was just talking to some of my viewers the other day when we were playing Oblivion. What if you had an MMO that actually that was just, instead of being 3D with a bunch of graphics that are just going to age really badly in 5 years, what if you made a whole MMO, like an MMORPG, using 2D sprites, kind of like in the Stardew Valley art style?
That would be awesome, but I absolutely shouldn't play MMORPGs, like factory games as well, because they just consume my time.
I know that feeling. Like, for me, the game that you will just eat my afternoons alive is City Skylines. I have found that game is like crack to me. I'll just kill a whole day playing that.
I'm very addicted to Satisfactory.
Oh, you mean Train Simulator? No, I'm kidding.
As soon as you reach the train time, it's a train simulator. That's true.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing about that. But all right, we've been talking a bit about games and entertainment. Let's get to some heavier questions. So
yes, give me heavy questions.
All right. Let's start off with okay, here's one. What do you believe in terms of the famous philosophical dichotomy of fate versus free will?
I believe that our fate is to have a free will.
Okay.
I do think... Okay. How do I explain myself in English? I do think that some things are fate, but that we mainly have a free will. I mean, I have tarot cards, and
No
I do
way.
lay tarot cards in order to see into my future. And I'm pretty sure that our free will determine our written future. It's like when I do a decision, it will determine the path and a certain path in my future.
Okay.
So it's a mix between both, if you ask me.
Sure. It's interesting that you mentioned tarot. You're the second person in a row to come on the show who does tarot cards.
Witchcraft, woo!
Oh boy. I was just playing. I was watching. I was playing Phasmophobia with a friend of mine named Cassie Luna Piena, and we went into the basement, and there was this like summoning circle. It was like a pentagram thing, and it was, wait a minute, that's not right. That circle is just completely incorrect. It doesn't look like anything from any of the except the grimoires. And I realized, and Cassie was like, it's just a game. Just go with it. I'm like, okay.
It's just for fashion.
Okay. So,
but I have to admit, I would never use a Ouija board in real life.
Oh, dude, don't worry about Ouija boards. Okay, so in the 1800s, there was a bunch of people with different designs of spirit talking boards. They were all racing to get a patent out, and they were all trying to make a quick buck here and there, because talking to the beyond was a big thing in the 1800s. It was this huge phenomenon. And the Ouija board thing is just using this type of phenomena that happens when people are holding onto the planchette type of thing.
Yeah, I know, but just the possibility that I could introduce that I could invite ghosts. I just don't want to get the risk.
Okay, all right. So, does this mean you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I do.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Would you have any cool ghost stories for us?
Probably not. I mean, I could tell you about mysterious noises in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. They're knocking every time in the middle of the night. Someone is knocking at my door, and I don't know why.
Interesting. Does this keep happening, or was this just a period of time and somewhere else?
For a period of time.
Huh. Okay, interesting. So
I also every time on Halloween, every year on Halloween, I do celebrate Samhain, the Celtic holiday of ghosts and spirits,
Interesting.
in
So,
order to invite the in order to invite the ghosts of people who died, because I have a friend who was very dear to me. He died on cancer. My dad died on cancer.
oh yeah, it's a big thing these days. A lot of people get cancer, including my dad.
Yeah, and oh,
Well, my dad's still
I
alive, but he
always
just has the recurrent type.
well, what?
My dad has the recurrent type of cancer.
Oh no! Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh, no! Yeah. Again, sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. But okay, so where were we? Okay, so we were talking about fate and free will. So you're saying?
Oh yeah.
You were saying that our choices will influence the outcomes of our lives. So that seems to be like an interpretation similar to determinism. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I guess.
Okay. So when I think about fate and free will, one of my the ways I look at it is that given a human being exists and they have at their disposal sensory perception, they have cognitive ability, they have a an environment that they can affect and that can affect them. And given all these variables, there are also limits in place about how much information that human individual can be aware of at any given time. For example, limits of what they can perceive. So for example, the eye only has so much field of vision, only has so much depth of field, etc., etc. And furthermore, that's already one constraining factor. If we were to make a flow diagram mapping information. Then, furthermore, there's limitations of the brain, limitations of the mind. There's like the psychiatric and neurological factors of the brain that may make one thing easy for them, one thing hard for them. And then there's the psychological stuff that they just, that they tell themselves psychologically that might either help or hinder them. And given all these kinds of limitations, I don't know if absolute free will makes total sense. But nor do I think that absolute fate makes sense either. In the sense that a human's only capable of being cognizant of only so many choices at a time when they're faced with a decision point. Are there theoretically an infinite number of choices? Okay, theoretically. But practically speaking, when you actually, pass all the information through all the limits and stuff like that, they only have so many choices that they're going to be aware of. Given this in mind, it's almost like what we're actually shown and what choices we're presented with are as much a function of our free will, like you're saying, as they are of our circumstances. And that in many ways, it's almost like life is a multiple choice test. We have multiple choices that we're aware of, but sometimes we can only pick one because sometimes they're mutually exclusive to each other. But I'm just wondering, what do you think?
I mean, I do think. Okay, for example, when I decide to shoot you. It is my free will to shoot at you. But it could happen that it is your fate to die, and there's nothing you can do with your free will to stop the fate.
Okay, theoretically, but are you saying that so you're saying you're a proponent more for predestination, that that certain outcomes are kind of set in stone, that they're going to occur regardless of what choices are made? Are you saying that?
Yes.
What it makes you say that? What's the logic behind that?
I mean, there are some things I can't influence, no matter how much I try. No matter how much I try.
Sure.
And I would say this is just fate. And everything I can influence is free will. From me, I would say. Because I still do my actions. Even when I know what the future brings, I can still decide to take another path, which will influence the future and change the fate.
Sounds like you're touching
The
on.
face.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes.
Sounds like you're touching on multiverse theory and how by certain decision points, basically new timelines or new parallel universes are created, branching out from each other based on what decisions or what given an instantaneous observation of a certain point along any tree of time, that at certain nodes you're going to have different conditions, and different ones are made based on different outcomes in those things. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, I've definitely flirted with the idea of multiverse theory. It's definitely an interesting idea. Of course, measuring it's going to be a lot more difficult, but it does start introducing odd concepts, though. Like, here's a question. The universe is measurably finite, though it's expanding faster than light somehow, which has boggled scientists some. But does that mean that the multiverse, if it exists, because I'm not sure if it does, but if it exists, would that make it also finite, or to make it infinite? And if so, which type of infinite? Because apparently when you get into infinite math, then there's various different forms of infinity, apparently.
Good question. I'm just a kobold and no scientist.
Sorry.
I would say...
I was kind of asking rhetorically, trying to stir the conversation. Sorry, I wasn't trying to put all that on you. Sorry.
But it was a perfect moment for I'm just a kobold dude.
Sir, this is an Arby's. Sir, this is a McDonald's. What do you want from me? Sorry. Okay. Let's come back down to earth. Sorry. Okay. So...
Dude, I just delivered pizza.
Okay. Scaly kobolds or furry kobolds? Which do you prefer?
Good question. It is scaly kobold, because every time when I see a furry kobold, I just say, okay, this is a werebeast.
A lycanthrope.
Huh? Yes, literally.
Interesting. Okay.
Every time when I see a kobold in an anime, this kobold literally just looks like a lycanthrope.
It's definitely interesting that way, and I also noticed that in anime, when they do orcs, they tend to make them the pig nose type of orc. I thought that was odd.
Yes.
I wonder why.
Or the green goblin one.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting thing. Speaking of fantasy species and stuff like that, do you ever play Dungeons & Dragons?
I played it certain times in the past. Very, very, very far past.
Okay. So do you have any
because
memories? Go ahead, sorry.
I don't really like the rule book, the rules of Dungeons & Dragons. So I wrote my very own pen and paper rule book.
Okay.
And started to play with my own rules.
Cool. Do you have it uploaded somewhere? We could
No.
Oh, okay. I see. So, what changes did you make from the D&D system?
The dice throws are basically inverted.
Okay. So kind of like Thaco in second
Not basically, literally. Natural 1 in my rule book is a perfect throw, but it's a critical fail in D&D if I'm right, when I remember right.
Generally, once upon a time, back during Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition was around, a 1 could sometimes be a good thing. These days, a 1 is always a bad thing, and a nat 20 is always a good thing. But it used to be that it was situational, depending on what kind of check you were making, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, 1 is always good in my rules, because it's okay. To explain, you have 8 different stats, and every stat starts with a 3. And when you do something based on the stat, you throw a d20, and you try not to throw higher than your stats are.
Interesting. Okay, so it's a roll under system.
Yes.
Okay, I think Warhammer does a little bit of that sometimes.
I never played Warhammer. I just know some designs about the rats.
Mm-hmm.
This was Warhammer, wasn't it?
Wait,
I don't really know.
does it? Okay, so are in the memory you're thinking of, were there guys in big suits of armor that kind of look like American football gear?
I do remember something like that, yes.
Okay, those would be Space Marines.
I have actually no idea. I just know that we have a Warhammer shop in the middle of the city,
Okay.
but I never went into the shop because I saw the prices on the outside. And I was like, no.
Yes. Oh, I wanted to show you something I did a long time ago with Warhammer. So there is an underground movement in the Warhammer community called Poorhammer, where we'll make proxies that are roughly the size or dimensions or whatever of what we want to play. And we'll just play it without buying any official models because the models are way too expensive. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I literally never played Warhammer because it's always so expensive. Everything I see about Warhammer is just expensive.
Yeah. So let me
So
show
I
you.
was like,
Oh, go ahead.
So I decided never to go into Warhammer because I simply can't afford it.
So let me share this image. This is something I made on my ages and ages ago. There is a certain model in Warhammer called a Titan, and these things are giant robots that are scaled to the small miniatures, and they cost thousands and thousands of dollars just for the parts alone, not let alone all the painting and everything you gotta do. And it's a lot of money, and it's pretty silly that that the game's sort of pay to win sometimes. So as kind of a protest, what I did was I decided to take a bunch of PVC pipe and some pliers and stuff like that, and I took it all together and I made it so that I made this little robot guy that was the same dimensions and height as the Warlord Titan, but it was made for like $40 at the time. Here's the image of what I made.
Yes.
That's the wonderful thing about Poorhammer is as long as the other side can was willing to run with it, that it's not that big a deal. That's kind of the story of my $40 Warlord Titan. I made a Reddit post on this like ages and ages ago. When was that? 3 years ago, apparently, looking at this thing. But yeah, that was. Sometimes sticking it to the man can be a lot of fun.
I love it.
It's a lot of fun. So, okay, all right. Let's see here.
I have a little question.
Okay.
Why does your outlets in America always look so shocked?
I actually looked up about the RCID outlets that we are. No. It's not that one. It's not RCID. No. It's Oh my god, I used to know this. I used to know the actual designation for American Outlet Designation. There is a name for this. NEMA. That's what it's called. It's called NEMA. There's A and B, and you usually see Type B. Hang on a second.
While I hang in a second.
All right, there we go. And
Chat, every time when I'm streaming, I'm introducing the tea of the day. It's literally the tea I'm drinking at the stream. And today's tea is lemon tea with peach and boba pearls.
Oh, do you mean
Little apple
boba?
pearls. Yes.
You may want to check the phrasing of what you said there, buddy.
What?
Okay, so booba in English means mammary glands. It's slang for that. Boba is what we call the tapioca balls that they put in tea and stuff.
Yes, it's boba.
So,
I made myself bubble tea.
Nice. So, okay, you were talking about the outlets. Apparently, you get three types. I think this is, this is in a New World. So, most of the time, you will run into Type B, NEMA Type B, or 515R. And It's very old, and yes, it can get pulled out on its own, and yes, the leads are accessible from the outside, so if you have a long piece of metal, you can shock yourself. It's a very old design from forever ago, from the electrification, I think from what, the 40s? Or like the 50s, maybe? And it just never got changed. Kind of like how there have been many attempts to switch the US to metric, like to use kilometers instead of miles, for example. And they all fail because of the sunk cost fallacy. We are already so invested in one thing, why should we change over to something else?
I don't know why your country hates the metric system, but I also know that you do everything to avoid it. I saw a newspaper article once about an asteroid, and the newspaper told an asteroid of the size of a corgi and the weight of an elephant. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Why? Just tell.
Oh God!
Just tell the world the kilogram and the other measurements. Why are you telling the world it's an asteroid in that's so big like a corgi?"
Yeah. There's a famous meme that goes, "Americans will use anything but the metric system."
Yeah. But the outlet B always looks so shocked. I love it.
You know, I have a funny story about outlets, actually. When I was a kid, I was listening to like some science fiction audio drama, and I thought it sounded really cool, and I got pumped up. So I took a lumber nail, and I shoved it into the ground port of the outlet. Not the lead and positive or negative ports, but the ground one. Mm-hmm. And I was like pretending that, I'm draining the power from this grid. And I was like, what, like 6 or something? And my parents were like, and they saw me messing around with the wall outlet. And eventually they sat me down and taught me about how electricity actually works and how not to get myself killed by it, because they wanted to prevent me from shocking myself. Because, granted, I didn't shock myself when doing that, but I very easily could have if I had wanted to. In hindsight, that was such a stupid thing to do.
One of the first things my dad taught me was when he's touching the outlets, and when he's not able to move, I just should take something and to hit his fingers.
Oh, a dead man hook. Oh, yeah. My dad.
Because my dad was an electrician.
Oh.
And he made the whole electricity at home.
Interesting. What did he use to generate the electricity at home?
What?
You said he made electricity at home, so how did he generate it? What did he use?
No. Once per day, he sat in the basement and ran around.
Oh, well, you said he made electricity, so I'm like, oh, okay.
He learned he was an electrician and he studied computers. Uh-huh. So he was a technician at home.
Okay.
So when anything was broken, he fixed it.
Oh, that's what. Oh, interesting. You were using the word "make" like how the French use the verb "faire." Okay, interesting. That's fascinating, because the French will use the word "faire" for almost like to do sometimes, not just to make, which is interesting.
I sometimes think a little bit too German and just translate the German in English.
Sure, makes sense. So, let's see here. What else were we talking about? I hope my meds aren't wearing off. I took them maybe a bit too early today. Let's see here. We've talked about where you've been. We've talked about where you want to go, and we've talked about where you are. What else? So, okay. What is important to you, Alice Crow? What do you value in life?
Peace and quiet and fun.
I can get with that. I
mean, in case we just have one life, I would love to enjoy my life, because the world is a beautiful place.
Sure.
there's so much we can do. There are so many books you can read. There are so many games you can play. There are so many places you can visit. There are so many animals and plants you can discover, watch, and learn about. So I always try to learn something and enjoy life.
Sure, I can get with that. So, what would you say is something you've learned this year so far?
Oh, I learned so much that I have no idea what.
Stack Overflow, perhaps?
I learned some stuff about America.
Oh.
Actually, I learned that New Hampshire is a state.
Okay.
No, it's not. Yes. New Hampshire is a state.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I learned right.
Yeah, a lot of people will act like the entire East Coast is New York, but actually, well, here's a question. Maybe you could stream doing a 50 states quiz sometime.
Oh yes, it would be very interesting.
Or here I have to wonder, how well would I do at a name European countries quiz?
Oh, probably better than I. Because I'm not really the geographic person.
Oh, really?
No, not. I can't remember names.
Okay, that's fine. That's
So it would take me a while just to remember how the names of our countries are. What the names of our countries are.
No worries. I won't drop that on you. Though, if you're up to it, near the end of the show, we could probably do a little bit of trivia.
Yes.
So, okay. Let's see here. You've already talked about what kind of games you have to stream just about everything. So, there's
Everything except sport games.
everything except sport games. Okay, yeah, it makes sense to me.
And shooter. I'm not so much into shooter.
Oh, I'm terrible at first-person shooters. I have horrible aim.
It really depends on the shooter, I have to say. I was in a Titanfall esport team in the very past.
Oh, you were?
Yes, I was.
Wow. That's cool.
But I do prefer shooter with a story.
So, what was it like being in esports?
Stressful.
Really?
Yes, extremely. Because everyone had expectations at you, and you just play for work and not for fun. And I prefer to play games for fun. Because when you do mistakes, the whole team hates you.
Ooh. I see. So, what would you care to expand upon that? Because I've never actually taught. This is kind of an interesting experience that I'd like to know more about. So Titanfall. Let me get a little PNG of this up on the screen. What was it like? What were some highlights and lowlights of being in that?
One of the highlights was that I played a lot, and I get paid for it. Good paid. But the downlights were that like I said, it was extremely stressful. We had to train a lot. We had a lot of meetups, a lot of screaming, a lot of drama. And yeah, you get my point.
So basically, it was really hyper competitive, and people would just be all over each other's asses about it.
Yes, and especially our team leader was like, I do the decisions, and everyone who don't is on my side is my enemy.
That doesn't sound like a very good leader.
No, absolutely not. But she was very good.
There's definitely something to be said about what makes a good leader versus what makes a good, follower. And I feel like I've played games like Barrow Trauma, which is kind of like a game where you play. It's a side-scrolling game, but you play running a submarine on the fictionally aquatic moon of
I
Europa.
remember.
Huh?
I remember the game.
Oh, okay. And I've noticed that some people, they can be really good as, say, in an away team or doing one of the roles or whatever. But when you give them the captain's chair, they're different because they're not as much of a leader in that position. They get a little bit, how should I say? Sometimes they can get a bit tyrannical. Sometimes they can get a bit too loosey-goosey and too indecisive. And it just seems like there really is a skill of leadership that is just kind of neglected in schools. And if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. And people just don't seem to cultivate it very, efficiently. And so you end up with situations where... Oh, what was that?
There really is. Not everyone is a leader. Because in order to be the leader, you have to be able to always see the whole field. How do I explain in English?
Big picture?
Yes, the big picture, literally. You have to know which things go well, which things go wrong, who's strong in certain points and who's weak in certain points. So the ones who lead are able to comprehend each other.
Or I think you mean compliment, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. But isn't that an interesting thing that a lot of people will just, that leadership is considered like this innate quality, but I almost wonder if there's more to it than just being an innate quality. I almost wonder if there is a skill factor to it just as much as a talent factor. In this case, I'd be defining talent as natural affinity, natural ability, and things like that, whereas skill is acquired affinity, acquired ability.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I have to wonder about where exactly do those two meet in terms of leadership? Because I took a course in college about leadership, and it really inspired me, actually. And I have to wonder about, well, why don't we teach more of this? Why don't we teach more about what makes a good leader, what makes a bad leader? Why is it so ready, fire, aim with so many things? You know?
Yeah, I know. I would say because it's extremely difficult to teach.
I suppose so. But you could probably set up experiential education programs where, by doing something, you learn in the field. Like say, well, you could probably use games as a catalyst for teaching people leadership, or you could use sub objectives for the course and things like that.
We literally had a program here in Germany that had a focus on that.
Oh.
Teach leadership with games, or teach how to behave in public with games.
Interesting.
And they choose Minecraft.
Interesting. Okay.
There was a group. We had the problem that a lot of teenagers did not want to go to school, and they always screamed and hit other teenager in the same age. So they decided to put up a program where they were able to play Minecraft, and when they don't behave, they went into a Minecraft prison.
Huh. So it was a remedial effort, is what you're saying.
Yes, literally a digital society based on Minecraft
Fascinating.
to teach important stuff.
Well, I have to wonder if something a bit more proactive and less remedial would be good for this kind of thing, because I feel like, skills like critical thinking, personal asset management, or personal finance management, and things like leadership. These are things that I feel like should be taught in schools, because they're not exactly a science per se, but they're not completely a humanity either. Well, except for like finance management, but that's a whole other thing.
I'm completely on your side. We have a system in Germany. We have at least 3 different kind of high schools. They're called Hauptschule, Realschule, and Gymnasium.
Okay.
And the Hauptschule is the lowest one, and the Gymnasium is the highest one. And when you before high school, the notes you get before you have to go into the high school will decide which kind of high school you have to visit.
Okay, so it's
And
kind of a
they do
meritocracy.
teach
So it's an adaptive system that has different tiers based on school or student aptitude.
Yes, you are in the end you are able to get the very same grade of what is the word?
As my French teacher would say, circumlocute it. To talk about the things that relate to it.
When I'm done, I get a certificate.
Oh, when you graduate, you get a diploma?
Yes, diploma. Yes, you can make the same diploma on every kind of this of these 3 high schools. But for example, they teach more finances and how work works on the Hauptschule than on the Realschule. And they teach more science in the Gymnasium than on the Realschule.
Interesting. That seems not only is that asymmetrical, but it almost seems like okay. So the Bundestag is probably
This is completely stupid.
yeah
Because most people here in Germany look down on someone who went to school, who went to the Hauptschule, because they don't have a very good
STEM program.
No. Let me look up the word. I even forgot the German word.
It's fine.
When I talk about you, and I tell others about you, like Zagram is a nice guy. How do you call it?
Well, hopefully I don't suffer from nice guy syndrome. I don't want to be one of those kinds of people.
The nice.
Yeah, those kinds. I don't want to do that kind of thing. I don't want to put
Gossip.
people
No,
down.
not gossip. It's like commentary.
Uh-huh.
It's like when I write commentaries for a restaurant.
Oh, like a review?
Yes, review. Literally, you can say review. The Hauptschule does not have a very good review.
Oh, perhaps you mean reputation.
Reputation. Yes, exactly. Reputation.
Leave it to
Most
humanity
people in Germany
to create a tribalized and stratified society, even if the infrastructure they set up would discourage it. Ugh. You know what I mean?
Yes.
People always want to feel superior. That's one thing I've noticed as I got older, is that a lot of people don't want to actually be correct. They just want to feel like they're correct.
Yes.
And they would be much happier staying in a box of delusion than they would realizing that it is a box and that they have been lying to themselves or that they have been lied to. I once had an employer.
People are very good at lying at themselves.
What?
People are very good at lying at themselves.
Oh my god, yes, absolutely. And I've noticed that some people, in terms of emotional and intellectual maturity, some people can not handle having those kinds of preconceptions challenged. Like, they'll take personal offense if you say, okay, like if the questions I was asking you about philosophy, and I was saying, okay, well, why do you think that? Just simply asking someone why they think something can sometimes really offend them. And they don't like the idea that something that they think is being questioned. They just get so pissed off about it. And I feel like there are a lot of people who their intellectual conclusions are daisy-chained or connected to their emotional comfort zone, and they are very passionate about their opinions. And it can be to the demise of their adaptability or flexibility on an intellectual scale, or in an intellectual context.
I know exactly what you mean. Because I have an ex-boyfriend who was exactly like that.
Mm.
It was like everything he said was real and true.
Oh, a pontificator.
Yes, it is. When he tells oranges are green, I could even hold an orange in my hand and put it into his face. But
That?
he will still tell you oranges are green.
Was he colorblind?
The thing you're holding right now is not an orange.
Was he colorblind?
No, just stupid.
Interesting.
And stubborn, yes.
That is such an acute
Very
case
stubborn.
of stubbornness. You gotta wonder if it's actually indicative of something more going on with them. Because that's like
Yes,
a weird divergence from, demonstrated reality.
He thinks so high of himself that he would rather be a clown than admit that he's wrong.
That's bizarre.
Yes.
That's also dangerous too, because
Extremely dangerous.
like imagine if that person committed a crime, and they were convinced in their mind that they had not committed a crime, but say that
that happened.
Oh. Would you care to share about that, or do you want to just keep that one close to the chest?
No, I would share it. I already think how to explain. He needed money, so he decided to rob a gas station.
What?
Yes. And the cashier was very traumatized. But my ex-boyfriend still stand his point that he didn't harm him. And because no one get harmed, and because gas station owners get a lot of money,
What?
it was right to rob the gas station.
What kind of Ayn Rand bullshit is this?
I know.
That's like something that Ayn Rand would say, or that someone who loves Ayn Rand would say, and just like, oh, as long as I believe I have done no harm, then I have done no harm. We have investigated ourselves and found no wrong. What kind of lack of perspective and circumspection do you need to have in order to get to that point? Like, that almost sounds like it's delusionary.
Yes, I know.
Sorry, delusional.
I mean, it's my ex-boyfriend now, so
No, Dingenson said, knowing him, he would likely be super into Ayn Rand too.
I don't know who Ayn Rand is,
They
but sure.
They were a female author in the 20th century who advocated for what she called the philosophy of objectivism. But what the philosophy boils down to is the only thing that matters is getting your own way.
I see.
I mean, you can go into all the rhetoric about it, but in terms of how it's manifest in her writing and how in all of her really draconian opinions of other people and stuff, it's clear that it's just an excuse to say, my way is more important than your way because it's mine.
Yes, I'm pretty sure my ex-boyfriend would love that.
Yeah. A lot of egotists tend to love Ayn Rand because it's
Everything that happens, when something good happens, it happens because he did it. But when something went wrong, it's a fault of someone else.
So basically, it's almost like they were a sociopath.
He always keep telling me that he's autism.
Interesting.
But I know that this is not an excuse.
I think, yeah, it's a gray area when it comes to mental conditions and mental health. Because on the one hand, having a buffer and a zone of consideration for someone's mental disabilities or mental conditions or whatever is, of course, ethically sound to have and definitely important. You don't want to have a completely brutalist society that just if you have one little disorder, therefore we're going to throw you away. Obviously, you don't want that. So it's important to have ethical shock absorbers in the form of buffer zones and understanding and compassion. But at the same time, there needs to be some kind of limit to how much you'll allow, because otherwise, if someone decides to do armed robbery of a gas station, I don't think that calls for, being nice and friendly to them. I think it calls for mitigating as much damage being done and preventing them from breaking the law. But perhaps I'm a bit... I don't know. It would be it's a strange balance to strike between the needs of the many and the needs of the few, as it were, so to speak.
I just have to remember so many situations.
You got any funny stories to tell us?
I have way too many funny stories about him. For example, we had a really big argument because he did something stupid. Okay, he wanted to... Okay, I don't know where to start. I went shopping, and he as well, but he had the keys. We went to 2 different grocery stores, and I told him that I will take a little bit longer than him, so he should lower the sound of the TV, so he can hear me when I'm ringing.
Uh-oh. Okay, I think I know where this is going.
You have no idea.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I went back and I met a friend. So I brought this friend back home, and it started to rain. And both of us standing in front of the door outside in the middle of the rain, and we ringed so much. Both of us called him and wrote him, open the goddamn door. And it took him 30 minutes. Then he opened the door and he told us that we never ringed.
What?
And that we never called him. We showed him that we both called him. And when I entered my apartment, of course, he raised the TV at the full sound.
Wow.
And he was not even watching TV. He was playing on the computer with a headset on.
I have to wonder if this was both him, perhaps them being on a spectrum and maybe being having sociopathy.
I have no idea, but I don't care, because he kept telling me he would hear it because he has a perfect hearing.
As if.
Yes, as if. And so we could give him the proof that we called him, and he called us. That never happened, because he would have seen it on his phone, and that he don't have to show us on his phone that we called him, because apparently it does not count when 2 different people show him the call history.
Wow, that's just plain dumb.
Yes. So it was a very big argument. I screamed a lot. And at one point he looked at me and told him, "Stop being mad at me, or I'm going home." And I was like, "Yes, please." And he just looked at me, stopped talking for 5 seconds, and then he sat down. "No, I don't want to go home."
How long were you with this person? I don't know.
Too long.
How could anyone? Wow. How does? This is.
I have no idea.
This baffles
The story
me.
is not finished. He wanted to make up for it, so he decided. My kitchen had a little bit too less space, so my fridge stand in the floor. So when I went to work, he decided to borrow a saw from the neighbors
Oh no.
and cut my kitchen into pieces.
What?
Yes, the fridge story. So,
You could
in
have sued
order
him for
to
that.
put...
You could have sued him for that.
Again?
Wait, again?
What did you say?
Oh, no. You could have sued him. You could have filed a lawsuit against him for that.
Yes, I know. So yeah, he sawed my kitchen into pieces so we can put the fridge in the kitchen. But he took wrong measurements.
Oh no.
Of course he did. So it didn't fit. Now my kitchen is still into pieces because I never had the time to repair it. But at least the fridge stands in the kitchen.
That's unbelievable. Holy crap.
And in order to make up for it, he wanted to buy me a snack.
Oh no.
And I told him I eat everything except Milchreis. It's it's a snack here in Germany with you take rice and you cook it in milk. Yeah, rice pudding.
Okay.
I hate it. Give me one bite and I will vomit it into your face.
Okay.
And he bought 10 packages of it.
What the? Oh.
With my money.
This person sounds like a sociopath.
Yes. But I would say he's just stupid.
My god.
Now the story is finished.
Jeez.
So yeah, I have plenty stories to tell.
Unbelievable. That... I am sorry you had to go through that. That's a testament to your patience to put up with a person like that for that long.
He had a heart on the right place at that time, but he changed over time.
Oh. I see.
And I always tried to be still friends with my ex in general. Because in my opinion, you can talk everything out. So I still tried to be friends with him. So he stayed way longer in my life than it had to be. And it was a really big mistake.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I actually was seeing a video recently talking to a therapist and how they said one of the most common regrets that people express is being in a bad situation and not leaving sooner. And
yes.
Oh man, I've seen that so many times. I've had to console friends with so many bad situations. So I'm proud of you for actually for getting out of that bad situation.
I mean, last time we talked, I was so angry at him that I told him when I will see you, I will punch into your face until you lose every teeth, so I can sell your teeth to the teeth fairy, so I get my money back.
Oh, holy crap! Wow, that's a creative insult.
And
did he even understand what you said to him?
No. He still tried to be friend with me, like nothing happens.
Wow.
So I just decided to ignore him completely. It's healthier for him.
Jeez.
And especially for me.
That's
especially
intense.
Because I don't have to break law.
Yeah. I would have gotten a restraining order for that guy.
I just said earlier that I think that you can talk everything out. I was wrong.
Sometimes you're just gonna run into someone who the diplomacy will just not work on them.
Yes, exactly. So I keep my distance from people like that.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you in the least. Well, okay. On that lovely note, what do you say we lighten the mood a little bit and do a little bit of trivia?
Yes. Give me the trivia.
All right, let's.
I should have.
Yes.
I mean, I could have influenced you by telling you that I'm very good at animal trivia and plant trivia.
Oh,
I actually want to study biology.
okay. Here, I'll
Take the trivia you prepared.
Actually, I tend to do more loosey goosey and actually see what people want to do. So then I just go on that. Ooh, okay. Here's some biology trivia. If you're up to it, it's not zoology or botany. It's general biology.
Nice.
You want to do that?
Yes.
All right. Okay. First question for the trivia segment. Let's do this. What type of organism makes up the oldest known fossil?
Hello, I'm Alice. I'm good at biology, but I can't even answer the first trivia question. Probably the ammonite?
The ammonite? Let's see here.
Ammonite. The snail.
Apparently, the type of organism that makes the oldest known fossil is blue-green algae from South Africa that is 3.2 billion years old.
Oh yeah, of course. Ah.
All right, question.
Always the green things.
Oh, I see why this is in the biology category. Okay. What does the Scoville heat unit scale measure? This is kind of an odd one for something from Australia, but...
The Scoville?
Spelled Scoville, Scoville heat unit scale.
I have no idea. What is Scoville?
Okay, the answer is the pungency, spicy heat of chili peppers.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, yes, of course.
All right, here's an easy one. You should probably knock this one out of the park. Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
A fruit.
Here's bonus points. What kind of fruit?
Tomato.
You have to do better than that.
Hülsenfrucht.
What?
In German. Yes. I don't know the English word.
Okay, I'll just say it. It's a berry, believe it or not.
But yeah, no, I didn't say berry in German.
Oh, you did?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. So, question number 4. What is the collective name of animals and plants that live on a lake bottom?
I have no idea.
All right, it says benthos.
Pencil. Can't you? Okay. I wanted it.
All right, question 5. What is the hardest substance in the human body? Get your head out of the gutter, chat. I'll re-say
The hardest substance in the human body.
Yes.
That should be the bone.
I might say the kidney stone after eating a whole bunch of KFC, but let's see here. The answer is tooth enamel.
Discord is back.
Are you good?
I said bones.
Yeah, it's actually tooth enamel.
That's what I wanted to say in the first place, but I was like, oh, no, that should have been the bone.
All right, next question. What is the largest living structure on Earth?
The largest living structure?
Mm-hmm.
That should be a whale.
Well, this is including plants as well.
Oh, then it's the mammoth tree. Mammutbaum.
Mammoth what?
Mammoth tree.
Do you mean like the redwood?
Very, very big and large tree.
Do you mean like the California redwood?
I don't know.
Okay.
If they're called like that in English.
Okay, the largest living structure on Earth is the Great Barrier Reef, off the coast of Queensland in Australia.
Oh yeah, corals.
Alright. After 10 questions, we'll switch subjects to zoology. Question 7. In terms of attributed human deaths, which are more dangerous? Snakes, bees, sharks, or houseflies?
Why houseflies?
It's a multiple choice.
But yeah,
one.
I would. Mm, you said snakes, sharks,
Snakes, bees,
houseflies,
sharks, or houseflies.
Oh, that should be the bee because or the snake because of the poison. But a lot of people are allergic to bees. But I would say
Houseflies.
snake.
They are vectors for disease-causing bacteria.
Wait, no, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe that.
In terms of attributed human deaths, not direct human deaths.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, question number 8. We'll stop at 10 questions and move to a different subject. What is the oldest living thing known on Earth?
The oldest living thing on Earth,
Known, at least.
known at least. Probably amoeba.
Oh, what now?
That's a one-selling organism.
Oh, amoeba. Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. It says here, a bristlecone pine in California. It's about 4,600 years old.
The fuck?
I think they mean single organism, not organism species.
Ah, okay.
All right, question number 9 out of 10. Where are the 3 smallest bones in the human body? What are they called?
Either in the hand or in the foot.
Well, here, I'll make it simpler because I don't know how good you are with anatomy, but you pick either hand or foot or whatever you want for your bone thing, and if you get bonus points if you can name them.
I say it's a 50-50.
Well, actually, I don't know the answer either. It might be 50-50. So we have double blind trivia here.
It could also be a part of the spine. The very tip of the spine is a very small bone.
Coccyx, you mean? Wait, I just told you what that one's called. Sorry. Well, okay. What's your final answer? Because I don't know the answer to this.
Okay, I take the tip of the spine.
All right. It is the middle ear, collectively called ossicles. The 3 bones are the malleus, hammer, the incus, anvil, and the stapes, the stirrup.
I totally forgot that we have bones
you
there.
probably know this one. You probably know this one. What is the world's tallest grass?
The world's tallest grass. Wheat?
Is that your final answer?
Probably corn.
Bamboo. Yeah, okay, I knew this one. Bamboo is the world's tallest
Mm.
grass. Some species reach up to 39 meters in height.
So, yeah, okay, fair point.
All right, let's go to zoology. You said you were good at zoology, right?
Yes, I'm very good with insects. I'm very good with fungi. I'm very good with. I mean, I can tell you so many facts about hyenas.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. We're gonna do 10 questions of zoology. Are you ready?
Yes.
Question 1. What is a group of cats called?
A group? Why a group of cats? I mean, I can tell you a group of crows is called a murder. I can tell you a group of raccoons is called an ambush. But a group of cats?
Yeah, what's your final answer?
I would say pack. Like with canines.
Negative. It is a clowder.
Louder.
Spelled
What is it in
Clowder.
What is this in German?
I don't know. All right. Second question. Which has the thickest fur of any mammal?
The thickest fur of any
Any mammal.
Probably the ice bear.
You mean the polar bear?
Yes.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Negative. It is the sea otter.
Okay, that's funny. Why?
I think what they're talking about strands of hair per cubic centimeter, or perhaps, in terms of density.
I have to write down notes so I can look that up after the stream.
Alright. Question number 3. The age of a lion can be determined by its blank.
The age of a lion can be determined by its...
Blank. Fill in the blank.
Mane. I would say mane.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Negative. It's the nose.
The nose.
Alright, ready for the next one?
Yes.
What is the only mammal capable of true flight?
The mammal is capable of true flight. Flight.
Yes. Flight, as in, a plane flies.
Flying is not a unique feature of insects or birds.
But the only mammal capable of true flight.
Yeah, the only mammal. Oh, that's a good question.
It's actually has a very simple answer. It's actually you might be overthinking it.
Is it a human?
No. I shouldn't have said that, but
Okay. Tell me.
okay. The answer is bats.
Bats. Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting. And this goes back. This kind of goes back to our conversation earlier about metrics. Question 5. A newborn kangaroo is about the size of a blank.
A bean.
You say bean.
They are extremely small.
They are. Okay, so it's odd that it's... This is a bad question because it's not a very precise thing to answer with, because it depends on what kind of bean you're talking about. They say the answer is a grape, but then they don't say what kind of grape. So that's a bad question.
Fair point. I thought about these red beans you put into chili.
I'm going to give you that one because the answer's too vague. As in grape, there's so many species of grape. It could be that doesn't narrow it down. Okay, and this is also this is a subsidiary of biology, as in zoology. So yeah, that's a dumb question. Question number 6. What is the smallest mammal in the world?
Oh, we have very small ones. My first thought was the rusty spotted kitten, but we have animals that are way smaller. The sugar glider, for example, is way smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Teacup pigs are small, but they grow very big. When we talk about the size when they are adults.
That's a good question. They don't specify with the question. They say, "What is the smallest mammal in the world?" So I guess you can presume a fully matured form.
Okay. I still stick with sugar
Final answer?
glider. Bats are no, sugar glider are smaller than bats.
So is that your
Sugar
final
glider.
answer?
Yes, I would say sugar glider. Why not?
All right. The answer is an animal that I've never even heard of: the bumblebee bat. I don't even.
The bumblebee bat.
I've never even heard of that before.
Show it.
Holy crap, that's small. Okay, you're gonna look. All right. I'm gonna open this in the I'm gonna put this on the screen. This is unbelievable. We gotta show this. That is the bumblebee bat.
Why is it so cute?
I know! It's adorable! It's so cute! It's so tiny, too! Like, you gotta wonder if
it's impossible that I never heard about it.
it's so cute! You think that one is AI? Okay, it's from a stock image thing, so let me go someplace else. Here's one.
It looks very AI.
Alright, let me find...
It has literally one paw too much.
Alright, here's one.
Emerging from the middle of the chest.
Alright, yeah. Okay. There we go.
Aww.
Still very, very, very small.
Still very small and still very cute.
I know, has a little face and everything.
Just imagine you are so tiny.
I think they're also called microbats.
Yes, it is. It literally is a microbat.
Yeah, I think some of these are AI. Goddamn AI.
Oh no, and I wanted to choose bats. But no,
I've never even
choose the
heard of the
sugar glider.
bumblebee bat.
I never heard of it at all.
Okay, well, let's put that away for now. Okay, let's go to the next question. Alright, oh, yeah, that is AI. God dang it. Wish there was an AI filter. Anyway, what animal has the highest blood pressure?
The highest blood pressure. That sounds like a mice.
Is that your final answer?
But no. You need... I would say giraffes. Because they have a very, very long neck. And they need blood up there. In the head.
You're correct.
So I would say...
You got it.
It's a giraffe.
You got it.
Yes.
That's correct. All right. Here's one. And since you're from the furry community, like me, you might be able to get this one. Question 8. How far away can a wolf smell its prey?
My second partner is a wolf and I don't know it.
Are you forfeiting this one?
Can I?
if you're saying that you just don't know and you don't have a clue, you can just say forfeit.
No, I don't have a clue, but I would. I have the feeling that I should know it because I read about it. Probably 10 kilometers.
Ooh,
Sounds good.
They gave the answer in imperial units, so let me actually convert that real quick.
They can smell you all the way from New Hampshire. Probably.
Okay, the answer is almost 2 miles, and in kilometers, that's 3.21869 kilometers.
I overestimated the wolves.
All right, this one's going to be a pretty easy one. What land animal has the most powerful bite?
Hyenas.
Is that your final answer?
They literally digest bones.
That's not the same thing as biting.
I still stick with hyenas because I believe in hyenas.
Okay.
I mean, they can when they bite, they destroy elephant bones.
All right, is that your final answer?
Yes.
The answer is the hippopotamus.
Yes. Okay. They are on the list of the animals from who I don't want to get bitten.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen the size of their tusks, actually, I can do better. Okay, hippo.
Yes, I know.
Isn't it scary?
And the really scary thing is that they love to chew on animals They don't even eat meat. But they just love to chew on other species.
Yeah, they're actually herbivores, but they will,
They will chew on you.
yeah, they will kick the ass of just about anything. Boom, that's the side. They always, in cartoons, they always make the tusks of a hippo look like little flat, cylinders, but in reality, they're huge.
They are really huge. They are like daggers.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I just thought of a mean joke. Oh, I just thought of a mean joke. Should I say it?
Yes.
Well, I guess they're banned from the UK then.
I'm probably already are.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so yeah, hippos are goated when it comes to bite strength. Alright, question 10. This is the last one for zoology. Where is the only place on their body that dogs have sweat glands?
What are sweat glands?
Okay, in anatomy, a sweat gland is a part of the body that will,
Okay, thank you. It's the tongue.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes.
The answer is the pads of their paws.
The pads of the paws. Oh. Okay. That's why they...
These are
Oh
hard.
yeah, that makes way more sense.
These are hard.
Because when they walk, they leave little paw prints. So it makes sense. I was so happy that I know the word that I just was like, they're panting, and they pant in order to get cooler. So they probably just sweat over the tongue, but no, they don't. Rain, why?
Well, it looks like we've gone about 2 hours for this interview, and I don't want to, interview to exhaustion. So, what do you say we start wrapping it up here? And in sometime show fashion, you get to, you the guest, get to select who we raid.
Ooh, that sounds amazing. Let me look. But yeah, it was awesome to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on, Alice. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. By the way, it's already 11 in my country.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to be considerate of time, because I realized we've already been going for about 2 hours.
So no wonder my brain is so mushy.
Yeah, I realize that interviewing someone for 2 to 3 hours can be kind of grueling, so I'm trying to not, be too much raking people over the coals.
Oh.
But all right.
No one of the people I normally raid is online.
Let me see if I know anybody who's online right now. I probably don't. Oh, look, Alice Crow is streaming. Let's go raid them.
Ooh, let's raid Alice Crow. But yeah, I love trivia quizzes, and I'm normally better.
It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, every time when someone finds an insect, they send me a picture and ask me, "What is it?" And I'm normally never wrong.
I think I found a some we can raid either someone called Megadork448. They only got 3 viewers. We can raid someone called Coyote Moon and someone called Biscuit Rose VTuber.
What is the Coyote streaming?
They're streaming Dead by Daylight.
Ooh, that sounds good.
You guys want to raid that one?
I want to raid the Coyote.
All right, Coyote Moon. We're gonna start the raid in 3, 2, 1. So we started the countdown. Everyone, I want to thank you all for showing up for this episode of the Sometime Show. Alice Crow, I want to say thank you so much for coming on today, despite this huge time difference, and thank you so much for putting up with all my amateurish interview tactics.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad to hear it. We're glad to have you on.
Thank you for your invite.
No, don't mention it. It's all good. I like meeting new people, and I like interviewing people and getting to know them. So this was fun for me too. Anywho, Yeah, we're gonna call it off here. And for those of you who follow me, I'm gonna be doing Twitch Plays D&D tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's where we do. That's where basically chat decides what they're gonna do in a D&D setting by voting in a poll, and I illustrate and do the voice acting for the characters along the way. It's a lot of fun. It's almost like a one-man show in a sort of way because I have to do so many different things at once. So if you're interested in that, feel free to stop by. Alice, when do you stream next?
Also tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm going to play. I'm going to stream Persona 3.
Okay, what time?
2 p.m. German time.
Okay. Well, we got a raid now, so thank you everyone, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to stop streaming.